Hi, welcome to the Awareness with Madison. That's me. All right, I was telling myself that I would film tomorrow, but then it started storming outside and I was like, all right, well, now there's just no excuse. Oh, but you know what this video needs? Let me get it. All right, I don't have any champagne glasses or even wine glasses. And I'm also not drinking. I'm abstaining from multiple things at the moment. So I got myself a non-alcoholic sparkling rosé to celebrate something I feel is little known fact about me. I used to be, once upon a time, a bottle girl. I was Woo! All right, here we go. I could have, I'm doing this on my own, so I could have just drinking out of the bottle, but that would just be pirate-like. Cheers to not only me, but anyone who has ever freed themselves from the poison that is porn. P-O-R-N. That's right, I just hit my 2-year anniversary of being porn-free. So, cheers. If you have ever had that struggle, and if you've gotten yourself sober, I salute you. And if it's something that you currently struggle with, this video is for you. Wow, that's actually super good. And I'm not gonna be one of those people that's like, I actually don't even like alcohol. I love alcohol. That's why I'm abstaining from it. Because it takes the sting out of my emotions. And at the moment, I need to feel the honesty of my emotions so it propels me into different choices. Because alcohol and other things serve as escape mechanisms. And as long as you're escaping what needs to be addressed and changed, you're just gonna stay in the same fruitless merry-go-round, right? So onward and forward. I'm jamming in so much to this video. I apologize if you have a hard time following along. Actually, I don't apologize. Anyway. So it's been 2 years that I have been sober from porn, and it has been 1 year since I was what they refer to as being saved by le bon Dieu, the good Lord, from a life of harlotry and witchcraft. Pretty much is what it was turning to. I call the restoration process that I've been going through, going from whoresome to wholesome. Sorry, Mom and Dad. I truly am. You know, and let me just make it clear, I wasn't a literal, actual whore. I wasn't charging people to get with me. I was just doing it for free with men who, most cases, didn't deserve it, didn't earn it at all. I was watching too much Sex in the City, you know what I mean? Sometimes culture gets to you before you get to you. Eventually, I'm probably going to write a book, and the title will be How to Stop Trashing What Was Created to Be Treasure. And the cover will probably be this, because that's like one of the funniest parts of my personal story. And one of the biggest parts of my story. That experience will always be a marker in so many different ways for me. Yeah, maybe it should be titled All Grown Up or How to Grow Up. No, but I don't really need to be teaching anybody anything. I'm very much still learning, you know what I mean? But the theme of this video, I'm finally getting to the theme of this video. How many minutes have gone by? Is lust. I have been conquering my lust, the spirit of lust that's kind of had its hold on my heart and my mind and my spirit since I was 6 years old. Because now at this point where I am as a human especially as a woman, is allowing God to help me restore the virtue that I lost. And also to become more disciplined and learn self-restraint and how to say no. Because the more you know, the more you say no. Okay? That's just wisdom. And ultimately, I really don't want to be a victim of my vices. So then there's that. They say that as you mature, you either get more vicious or more virtuous. And for some reason, I'm drawn to becoming more virtuous, because it kind of reminds me, when I think of the word vicious, I think it's a parable of the scorpion and the frog. Let me look it up actually. The frog and the scorpion. Here we go. It is an animal fable which teaches that vicious people cannot resist hurting others, even when it is not in their own interests. Sorry, I'm burping from the bubbles. I think in one version of the story, he stings the frog after he told the frog he wouldn't, and the frog says, "I thought you said you wouldn't sting me." And he was like, "It's my nature." Right? So if in your nature you've been infected by wounds and spirits throughout your life, and they allow you to become more virtuous, I don't want to go down that road. I think that also gets you sick. It ages you. The world doesn't need more vicious people. It needs more virtuous people. I'm sharing these things not to just like vulnerability masturbate on the internet for people to just, or I guess for attention, because I actually really like my privacy. But this is funny because this is like the most intimate topic, but it's the one I'm most willing to be transparent about. Like, I'm very private about other things, but my sexual brokenness, because I think it's such an epidemic that's been going on through, since the beginning, I think is really important to share stories. I hope people know that they can overcome. I had been engaging in, unwanted sexual behaviors and been obsessed with my fantasies that I constantly was needing to like escape with reality since I was a child. And that's really done some things to my life. And it has never helped me progress, develop, mature, grow, all sorts of things. And I'll be honest, I know I'm gonna be creating these little YouTube videos, but there is a part of me that really has a little bit of fear of sharing with the world, because the world is brutal. But not sharing this kind of haunts me, like it won't let me be. And if I don't start doing this, I'm not being obedient to le bon Dieu. So if you don't get it off your chest, you'll never be able to breathe, right? I also feel like I'm somewhat qualified to talk on this because I was a full-blown prodigal, a prodigal, if you will. And I'm having a really beautiful coming home spiritually in a way. And that doesn't mean that life isn't gonna, the winds and waves come, right? I feel very grateful for grace, and that I got divinely rerouted, like the train track rerouted. It really, really breaks my heart that there is a system that does not allow for people to develop their sexuality organically. Let me just get to this, because I'm not unique in my struggle. It's so many people have it. I've been reading this book. It's called UNWANTED by J. Stringer. And I cannot feel more grateful that this came to me when it did. There's a family member who's really struggling with their own relationship with porn, and they were reading it, and so I started reading it, and it's really, really, really impactful. And then there's also a very cinematic story film called The Heart of Man. You can rent it on Gumroad. I'll put the link down. It was really moving. If you've experienced a lot of grief over your state of your intimacy in your sexual self, it might be really cathartic. In the movie, he said that lust is desire gone bad. You know, something that is so good for us, but it's been spoiled. So it's kind of to take accountability and get right with that relationship, I think is beautiful. Anybody who embarks on that willingly. I'm also abstaining from dating for the rest of this year because I had, I don't know that this is that important. I basically had someone try to enter my world, and it was the same thing, right? The pattern just repeats. It's like so many similarities. Same pattern, different guy. And so now I know when the devil dangles a dude in front of me, I know how to say no. I'm not gonna go down that avenue. Madison, do not go down that avenue. You've already walked down that avenue multiple times. It's a dead end. There is no through street. I have to talk to myself like that, seriously. Is that why I was named Madison? Because I was gonna walk down so many avenues? I'm gonna have to ask my mom that. Another term I'm like, yeah, you would hope that you outgrow being a Dippin' Daughter. Whoa, Dippin' Daughter, but I meant Dippin' Dot-er. Like Dippin' Dots, the food that just melts in your mouth within like a second. Before you can even truly savor it, it's just done. All these people that are habitually dating for distraction and entertainment or thrills, they just dip in and dot out, dip in and dot out. Dip in, maybe dip in again, then dot out. Then wait some time, then come dip in again, and then they dot out. It's horrible. And I know I was not designed to be dipping in and dotting out of as many relationships as I have. Not good. Really not good. You know, and especially my young ladies, you gotta really reevaluate with what culture's telling you to be like, because what they do, what it's doing is it's baiting women to exploit yourself and call it empowerment. And if you think that it's not, I'm not gonna argue with you, but I really care about that younger generation that just had technology and seeing everybody's lives and having all these options. They never had, I'm that last group of millennials that remembers what it was like to not have technology everywhere all the time. So I feel really protective over Gen Zers and people younger. I also have nieces and I want to be a good example, and I want to make sure that they respect and honor how I've conducted myself, and that they can look up to me and they can come to me and ask me questions, and I can maybe help educate them so they don't do the things I did, because the things I did broke my heart. See, this is why it's great that there's no alcohol in it, because I would have been like, oh, getting all tips, just the tipsy. It actually really tastes so good. The French, I think it's French, de l'eau. They really know how to do certain things. Read this book, get this book. It just is really profound. It's incredibly profound. And it was spot on. He talks a lot about anger, but mine is more futility. There's a directionlessness and an aimlessness that I felt because my identity was like, I didn't have a strong sense of self. I just had certain natural abilities to do things. But the more I went through, you know, the more you touch the stove, the more you're scared to touch the stove. That's kind of what happened for me. It's why I've backed off of pursuing certain things as a career. Well, that's a whole other video. There's so many layered reasons for that. Here's one. The madness of unwanted sexual behavior is that the very thing we develop to assuage a lack of power ends up becoming a powerful master over us. This is pornography's seduction. Bring me your weary and defeated heart, and I will give you a world where it will go away. And in the end, pornography confiscates not only your purpose, but also your heart. As you can see, desire, if not satisfied, will often give birth to anger. Although there may not have been a single catastrophic form of trauma, the accumulated experiences of rejection, humiliation, mockery, and scapegoating. The rejection I really relate to, and also it just got to me so young. I was only 6 when I saw an image popped up on my computer screen when I was making like a greeting card. And from that time on, I've been obsessed. And that struggle's been hidden, these hidden struggles, and then that breeds shame, right? If you hide things, it can grow, the darkness can grow. But if you expose it, and if you make peace with it, it no longer has a hold on you. It doesn't own you. Yeah, also the word trauma comes from the Greek word for wound. The word trauma has become so tainted because everybody uses any impactful negative experience as a trauma. But, you know, certain things are serious soul wounds. If you read it and it impacts you, please reach out to me, send me a message or something. My prayer is just that I can help people in the way that I wish I could have been helped. Because there's been so many times that I just felt like truly on my own with certain struggles. Like, I don't know how to resolve, I don't know what to do with this. And I didn't know where to get good guidance. Yeah, that's probably, I'm just gonna leave those links because I feel really grateful that I cut that out of my life. And I believe that if it's something you want, you can too. Cut it out. You cut out those poisons. You get that spirit bright and right.